opening that Facebook page now?
Yeah. All right. All right.
Good morning, Gray.
Good morning. Good morning. Good
How
morning.
are you?
Good. I'm good.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Yeah.
I like it gray.
Great. It's blue.
Well,
I mean,
looks
it's purple.
great. Looks gray to me.
It's purple.
Matches my necklace, the gray.
Okay.
You always match something. The black.
Guys, she's got something going on. I got to tell you, because she's been in too much of a. Oh, this is wonderful. Wait a second, my damn battery's going low. Grab my.
1 minute, guys. Just had a little technicality.
Yeah, worst comes to worst. Hold on a second. What is it? Yeah, I just need it for this one. Yeah.
1 minute. We just have one little glitch.
Yeah.
We'll try again. We'll start again.
Yeah, no, but hold on. I'm at 10% there. All right. You know what? There's another. No. I don't have an eye. Oh. Yeah. Just you stop talking. I'll be there in a second.
So good afternoon, good morning, everybody. We're just having one little thing go wrong. Greg's gonna fix it. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to Joe Simonera. Nice to meet you.
Good morning.
Welcome to my friend Tom Benzavenga.
Thank you. Thanks for
Star
having me.
of the movie.
Thank you.
Mi Familia. Welcome to George Mizrachi, the author of 2 terrific movies series. Stained Glass and Cyclist Club, soon to be a movie someday.
Thank you.
And
Thank
Danny
you.
Casariano, my favorite restaurant, which is fabulous. Food is great. Welcome, Danny.
Thank you.
How's everybody today? It's nice and warm. The sun is shining.
It's good.
Thank you.
That's great. So, Joe, what's happening? The second movie's coming out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to be on the show with everyone today. And we are getting ready to launch Mi Familia 2, which is the sequel to Mi Familia 1. The story is about a New York mafia kingpin and his struggles to keep the family going because the head of the family had died. One of the stars here are the very talented Tom Benzavenga, who's been on the first one. He stars in the second one as well. And we're looking to finish filming, I'm hoping this month, and we're looking to roll out with it sometime very early summer or maybe before. But that's basically what we have going on. It's been a great year. We've been filming for a whole year. We filmed everywhere from Italy, Scotland, Long Island, New York, all over the United States, and we're almost ready.
So exciting.
Again,
the filming is so exciting. You know, like that you were all over, and even Long Island.
Yeah, there's a lot of great places in Long Island, a lot of restaurants. I mean, we've used Russo's on the Bay at just about every one of their places. We use Verdi's. I mean, we use Long Island Vineyards. Just we've used all of Long Island. We've taken advantage of all the great filming spots here.
Perfect.
You know, and we're not done yet. But,
yeah, you got one more to go, right?
It's a great struggle. We got one more, but I think we're going to have another filming date because just looking at the footage, there's a couple of train videos that we need to sort of connect everything, connect all the dots. But yeah, it's pretty much done at this point.
All right. Well, if you need us, we're here. You know.
I definitely. Thank you.
Always happy to help you. And Danny, his
yeah, I know there's a very good restaurant. Dan, that's your restaurant?
That is correct, sir. Casariano.
Very nice. I'd love to film there. Just forgive me, but
it's a Chinese restaurant, guys. It's a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, it's
Chinese Italian.
This Chinese restaurant that serves great Italian food.
I'm telling you,
Something like that.
Food, I swear to you.
Danny, where is it, Danny?
You know, you left. You left. You know what? There's a restaurant in on Mott Street in Little Italy, and I forgot which one it was. I swear to you, he didn't last very long. But we used to go there eat all the time, my friends and I. And when you went to the kitchen, I swear to you, the food was phenomenal. I don't want to mention the name, but the food was phenomenal. And when you went back there, it was Chinese cooks.
Wow.
What?
An Italian, and these guys were. Yeah, and then a few people caught on to that. That wasn't so good.
That was the end of that.
That was the end, you know.
Danny,
He tried to get away with them
place?
saying they're workers.
We're located in Mineola at an intersection of Glen Cove Road and Jericho Turnpike, right over the overpass of exit 38.
And what's the name again?
Casariano. It's
Okay,
two last names, Cassiani and Pariano. It's a conjunction of two last names.
terrific.
And they have a chef, Giancarlo, to die for.
Baggio, yeah, he's a born, raised young man from Italy. You know, we're best friends through our wives, and that's how we know each other.
That's
Wonderful.
great.
I'll give you a little background, Joe. You want to brag about where your roots are?
Yeah, my whole life is very deeply rooted in the food industry.
Joe was a chef at Le Cirque. I'll brag for you, Joe.
Are you serious?
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Get
Joe
outta
was
here.
a chef at Le
Yeah,
Cirque.
Well, listen, Joe, you got to come and taste my food.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go.
Got competition. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
Joe
That's
goes
great.
way back with the food industry. In fact, that's how, I mean, he started that whole cooking channel on TV. He did the Firehouse meals and all, where he used to broadcast live. The firemen would cook with him. And it was terrific. My wife used to watch it all the time.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
my wife watches all the shows, so I'm sure if I bring your name, she probably knows it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Joe. What are you kidding?
Yep.
We all know him.
So Joe, really, wait, you were a chef at Le Cirque, huh?
Yeah, so I started off as a chef in the industry, all fine dining places with Ciro Macchioni, and then from there I teamed up with Julia Child. I had a cooking show on PBS for 12 years, and then after that I produced thousands of other shows, thousands for like the last 10 years after that. And
Isn't
in
that something?
2012, I went into the movie industry, and you know, I mean, there's nothing like making pictures, but it's a more of a struggle to actually try to make a living doing it. But you know, the two very different animals. But yeah, I'm very, very deeply rooted in the food world. I mean, I've eaten all over the place. I knew Paul Bocuse personally before he passed away, but yeah, I love it. I eat all over the world.
Wow. And
Isn't that
you
something?
you have a big training organization too, right?
Sorry. What was that?
Training, you train people on how to promote and do the movies?
Well, yeah. So, well, my production company was at one point the largest production company for doing cooking shows. So we did all the David Rosengarten shows, and you know, all the famous chefs out there that you've seen on Food Network.
Wow.
And we used to basically, we were specialized in people who their contract was up with the Food Network, or the contract didn't renew from Food Network. We used to take them up, and then we used to take their show and show them how to produce it on their own, get sponsorships. And we basically showed them that you don't need the support of a network, because I've been working with networks for years. It's all cutthroat, and you know, the bottom line is it's all what's in it for them. But when you actually are able to build your own brand and develop a brand on TV and the presence, it's a lot harder in the beginning. But as time goes on, you could take full control of your brand. And you control your destiny, not the networks, because the networks, at the end of the day, if you don't follow their curriculum, you're out. And I've been there before. You know, I've had a very successful show.
That's like her with Facebook. She gets put. Listen, I never knew what Facebook jail meant.
I've been in it.
All right, listen, Facebook jail. Who the hell go? I mean, regular jail, different story. But I turn around and I sit there, and you try to share things sometimes, and I never knew, and all of a sudden would say, you can't, blah, 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 whatever it is. And so I asked a friend of mine, because she posts, you know what she does? She'll grab the thing and like this. And they give you X amount of warnings. Then all of a sudden, for like a month, she turns around, she's in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't even know the thing existed.
Well, I have to tell you that what's going on in the last year, excuse me, especially in the film industry, the social media industry with Facebook, Google, YouTube. During the whole coronavirus, I did a couple of documentaries, really good documentaries, the whole coronavirus and everything else. My account was banned from. Now here it is. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm pretty respected in a lot of industries, and my accounts completely got taken down just for doing a documentary on this. It's a crazy world, and it's going to get worse with censorship. It's scary when you think about it. It really
Big
is.
problem.
It
It's a
really
big problem.
You know, who ever heard of taking a documentary down? That's why
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
it's crazy. It really is.
Yeah, but what kind of a documentary was it?
You can find it on YouTube, because I changed the algorithms of the title, and that's why it's still up on my page. If you go to Joe Simonera Presents, it's COVID-19 virus. And it talks about what we feel when we did our research with this whole thing was connected to one world order, one world change, etc. Not that we're
Are you a wait? Now I gotta ask you. When you say all of that stuff, are you a Mason?
No, I'm not a Mason.
Because I'm a Mason. That's why I'm like, whoa, wait a second.
I'm in many friends that are Masons. From what I see, it's a great organization.
Yeah, it is.
I
It
just
is.
feel that the root of a lot of this was unfortunately money, which is and taking God out of the equation. But so we did a documentary and we put it on YouTube, and it had 850,000 views in 3 days. And then it was
Oh my God.
Then I posted it back up. This is the first 3 weeks of the virus. One thing about me is I don't sleep. So we put it together and we had it out in 2 weeks. So this is we were the first ones that did anything on this. And then I did another short one too. It got taken down 3 times. My account got banned for 4 months. Then I actually called up the social media center. I had a direct contact and I got reinstated with the agreement that I wasn't going to promote the video. It's crazy. It really is.
Wow.
It's nuts. And
Well, you're still doing what you need to do, so they're not going to stop you.
Joe, how do I find it again?
go to Joe Simonera Presents, which is the YouTube channel, and on there you'll see there's still 2 shorts. It says COVID-19. So
Great.
a while ago, we did this movie called E19 Virus. I did it in 2015. And, one thing about my movies is there's no scripts. So what we did was we talked to a couple of scientists that were actually actors. And there were scientists from overseas, and they were telling us about virus outbreaks, stuff like that. So a lot of the visions that I got for that film, we put into that film. It was called E19 Virus. And everything in that film, with the exceptions of what happens after you take the virus, has come true. I mean, after you take the vaccine. So if you look at E19 virus, it started off as a simple virus, and then people took this vaccine, and then it genetically modified their DNA.
Okay. All right.
They got me thinking twice now, Joe. They got me thinking twice.
I have to tell you, I am a filmmaker, and nothing that I say should be held serious at all. This is a disclaimer here.
Yeah, Greg. So while I'm talking to you, Greg, I'm growing another ear.
Not the only one, then.
There's a lizard coming out the back of Tom's head.
Oh, geez. Well, let's talk about the movie. I mean, the second series. This is like.
Yeah, so this is the second Mi Familia, which is really just, you want to talk about a perfect cast. Our cast was so good in the first one that Martin Scorsese and his people went down the IMDb list and chose, I think there was like 20 actors, right, Tom? From our.
Yeah, I spent a week with them. Yep.
Yeah, so we all got a chance to be in that movie, and there were a lot of this second one is just mind blowing. It's so much better than the first one. But
the perfection Joe got on the second one with sound effects and the whole production, you could see it. It's just masterful. I mean, it's just really good quality. I think it's gonna.
Thank you. You know, the problem was with Mi Familia is it's a mafia movie, so obviously there's a lot of gunshots and stuff like that. So there's a lot of new restrictions with COVID this whole year, and it's been very difficult to get a room full of people together. So what we had to do was really be very creative with the CGI effects here, and make the gunshot wounds look perfect, make the bullet wounds in the head look perfect, make the fighting scenes. I had to put green screens because we couldn't have more than like 15 people on set per 600 square feet of space.
And you must have had a whole crew of guys disinfecting the bullets.
Oh my God. I had one girl on set just wiping everything down the whole time. It's a crazy time. It was a crazy time. And the paranoia from the actors, which I
really
nobody wanted to catch this stuff, but it was and the cancellations. Everybody was canceling. I got to cancel. I just met somebody who had COVID. And it's been a nightmare to try to finish this thing. But we've taken all the precautions, for filming, and it's been hell. I got to tell you.
It'll be worth it though in the long run.
But it's almost done, right? You're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost done.
It's a great production.
Terrific.
Tom,
I thought at the end you're gonna have that strip scene, and I figured Valentina, she said she was gonna have a part in it.
Well, if I would have known earlier, I would have definitely put with it.
I'm always
She's
available.
always available. Don't you worry.
Well, you know what? If we use the gentleman's restaurant here, if I would love to film an episode there, if you guys are okay, a scene.
Absolutely.
If we could use
Absolutely.
that restaurant,
We could be in the audience.
I welcome
After
you to
that,
stop by.
Then after
and
you
take
do
a
that
look.
part,
definitely.
after you do that part, after we eat there, you put that scene in, and we're gonna kill him and put him in the back.
Don't put it in my dumpster.
Yeah,
I got a
all,
dumpster too.
yeah, we all CGI with all the computer generated effects.
Well, we would
And,
love that.
Yeah, Tom did an amazing job. He plays the head mob guy, and in this particular sequel, the American mafia now fights with Sicily. So it's been a struggle for many years, and then now they're fighting back and forth. But just a really great cast. Over 262 people actually have been in the film so far. So
How many actors total for this so far?
262 so far.
Really? 62, you said?
Woo!
262.
Oh my God, 200. Oh.
There's gonna be some list at the end, when they do the
Credits?
credits.
Yeah, it
It'll
was
take
great.
hours.
Great.
Valentina wants her name in it too.
Yeah, well,
That's
yeah,
gonna be,
we'll
I
try to
forgot. I
put
think it was the, I think it was the Hallmark. I don't really ever watch those, but when they have the credits, the thing is like, it goes up like 700 miles an hour. You know what I mean? One of those, you know?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
George has 2 great books that he wrote.
That's right.
He's
George,
all-
you got to, can you
Yeah,
let
let him
George, you
talk.
got to tell us. I
Well,
know,
first of all, nice to meet all of you. I've eaten at your restaurant, Danny, and it's terrific.
I do recognize you.
Wow, nice.
Okay, good. I was the guy sitting in the corner by myself.
No, I recognize you.
Excellent food, and I look forward to seeing Familia 1. I haven't seen it yet, and of course, Familia 2.
Me familiar.
Me for me.
Me.
it's me.
It's me.
Am
Me
I?
Familia,
No,
yeah.
no, and it's purposely spelled M-E.
Yeah,
Purposely.
I'm Italian, I know how to pronounce it. What are you talking
No,
about?
I know in Italian you would put M-I.
Yeah, me, right, am I?
But Joe's
Yes.
too smart for that game. There's so many mob movies. M-E Googles up a lot faster.
Yeah, it really does.
Good marketing
Company,
there,
so-
good marketing there.
Yeah.
So the books I wrote, 2 books are already out on Amazon. The third one is in process. And it's, again, the first one is mafia related. And it has to do with drug cartels from Colombia who want to partner with the Italian mafia from New York, Long Island to be exact. It's a coincidence that all this takes place in Long Island, but it takes place in Long Island. And the Colombians have processed a more potent cocaine that the Italians in New York see a real big future in this, that they can cut it many more times than is necessary, 4 or 5 times, and still make a lot more money with it. So they want to use, the Colombians want to use the network that the Italians have on the East Coast to distribute this stuff throughout the country. And the first book, which is called Stained Glass, has lots of twists and turns. There's a love interest, and the ending is kind of a surprise ending. But it chronicles Detective Rodriguez and how he goes about solving this case and catching these guys trying to distribute these drugs throughout the Northeast. The second book, called The Cyclist Club, also has Detective Rodriguez in it, and it's more of a psychological thriller. It involves the Tour de France, steroids, drugs, mind-altering drugs, and Detective Rodriguez has to crack the case. The third book, called Red Rock Bleeds, takes place in Las Vegas, and it involves a serial killer and human trafficking. It's a trilogy, and Detective Rodriguez is the main detective who has to solve all these cases. And one book kind of overlaps the other.
They're for sale now on Amazon?
They're both Stained Glass and Cyclist Club are out now on Amazon. And then Red Rock Bleeds should be out, I'm thinking, around May or so. I got 3/4 of the book done. I just have to work in the ending.
Terrific, lots of luck.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, well, we're happy to work with you all the time, George. You know that.
I know.
We have a deal, don't we, George?
We have a deal, yes. You're gonna star in, when one of the books becomes a movie, you're gonna be my star.
That's it. There she look. She's finally gonna get that pole scene.
We're gonna have a female capo for the first time ever.
And we filmed a movie at Casariano. I'm Colombian and my partner is the Italian, so we could bring.
Perfect.
Oh, that's a perfect.
What else can you ask for?
I think I know a producer and a director too.
I think we've come full circle.
Yeah,
So
that's
how can
good.
how can people get that book? Is it both on Amazon?
The Stained Glass and Cyclist Club are both on Amazon. If you give me your addresses, I'll send you copies of the books.
That's
Thank you.
George. Bring me one. Stop by.
I will. I'll bring you a copy of.
All right.
I'll bring you both. They're both out.
I'll get you the address, George. I'll get it.
Yeah, you guys, I'll send you the books. You guys can read them. It's a good read. You'll see the reviews on Amazon. First one is called Stained Glass. Second one is called Cyclist Club.
Okay. Well, thanks, George. So,
You're welcome.
Joe, what do you want to talk about? Let's talk about everything,
Who, me?
Yeah, you just,
Okay. Sorry, I can't. It's so damn noisy here in this background. So
Where are you,
yeah,
Joe?
we can talk about the film industry. I mean, I think first of all, I'm going to get one to read those books. I read books every time I fly on a plane, and maybe we could do something together. But yeah, I think the film industry is coming back. It's it's been real struggle. It's 6 months ago till now. Some people had to stay in a hotel room for 2 weeks quarantine before they went on set. There hasn't been any craft services on set, and really rocked the industry. But what I think it really did was give independent filmmakers a chance to launch their product out there, because what happened was the studio movie houses did not take up the space on the VOD platforms like Amazon and stuff like that. And you had all these independent filmmakers that said, hey, I got a movie, I made it, and they put it on Amazon, and people needed to watch movies. And next thing you know, you didn't have these huge Hollywood budgets, interrupting the flow of independent filmmakers like myself. So on the film side, I think it helped. It helped a lot of filmmakers who were independents. It killed the movie industry and the theaters, the theatrical performance, which sucks, because I'm a big fan of movies in the theaters. And it was hurting before this. Now it's like totally dead. I mean, you look now and you could find movie theaters for sale for little or no money. It's sad, but yeah, it's a shame, but things are finally moving along. But for the independent filmmaker, aside from the restrictions on the locations, there really hasn't been a hiccup. I mean, we
watching a lot of this stuff now. For instance, everything now is on those the Netflix, the Prime Video, the Hulas.
Yeah.
You sit there and it's like trying to get, for instance, somebody like Netflix.
Yeah.
To host you, to have you on it must be a nightmare, but even though it's easier, they said, to get it on Netflix now than it would, say a while back ago before the COVID. And now everybody's really comfortable. Think about it. Look how comfortable you are when you go home. You pick up some food and go home, and Netflix. It's, nobody's going to the movie theater, just like you just mentioned. And I do believe the movie theaters opened up, about last week or something like that?
Yeah, 25% capacity, but that's nothing. I mean, the movie theaters don't make any money. They make about $2.25 off of each ticket that's sold, because the the distribution companies take the majority of the money because it's their movie. So, they have to make their money off of the concessions, all the popcorn and stuff like that. And if they're not doing it like that, I don't know how they're surviving, paying the rents and everything else.
It's like trying to tell the restaurants to stay open, Joe, with 25%. If they're not doing liquor and they're not doing the desserts, there's a couple of restaurants they pulled the liquor license because they were in violation.
Yeah,
because they were hurting. And I understand that when you turn around, and even though sometimes do I get tempted to go over? Nah, I do. Well, in the beginning. Now, knock on wood. Look, I just keep 62 people and that's it. Some of my friends get a little annoyed. It's true. It's like, if you guys turn around and make the reservation, you got to go on my page, on the Facebook page, to make a reservation. Now, once you make your reservation, I got to send you back confirmation, so that when you come to the door, you show your confirmation. I got to turn people away from the door, where a lot of my friends that have other bars and restaurants, they're letting them in, and I'm sitting there going, you know what? I'm just making it right now. Yeah. I don't want to jeopardize to have an extra 10 people come in, and I'm going to lose my license, get a $5,000 fine.
No, it's not worth it. But at the same token, though, too, what the hell is the difference going to eat outside in a tent and then going inside the restaurant and eat?
Yeah,
It
you're
makes
still in a
Good
closed
point, Joe.
area.
stupid
Still in a
sense.
closed
It-
area.
it- it's totally stupid. I mean, I've known so many restaurateurs because I was in that industry for a long time. People who had their savings, their life savings, because people don't
Right.
understand. A true restaurateur has their life savings in a restaurant, just like you would have it in a bank or a CD or investment. Restaurateurs keep putting money into the restaurant, keep putting it. And the way that they would just, the door was shut on them by the government, by the state, by absolutely not helping any of these poor restaurants that so many of them went out of business. I just can't agree with it. I think it's completely ridiculous. It did not make any sense whatsoever. And at the end of the day, when you see these people not following the rules, when they have to feed their
Yeah.
family and they're not
That's
getting
right.
any help, the assistance from the government,
I just sit here, listen to me. I never watch the news. And if I do watch the news, I wait at least 15 minutes or so. Look, I don't want to hear about the rapes, the murders, and all that stuff. It's always been there. It's always going to be there. But I got to tell you, I watch the news now. I wake up. My TV always stays on. And all I hear is things about Cuomo. And I just go, it's a great day. I tell you.
Yeah.
Now we're up to number 5.
Oh,
Now we're
yeah.
up to number 5.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the Cuomo. I knew his father very well. He used to come into
Yeah, I knew his father.
He was a stand-up guy.
Yes.
In his position, it's got to be very, very difficult to make these decisions because you're not going to make everyone happy. But I just think that America needs to get a little bit more tough and say, look, if you don't want to go out, stay in the house. If you want to go out and
Right.
jeopardize your health,
Right.
go ahead. But it crippled the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
They're talking about maybe, I don't know, 50, 60% may never return.
Well, look at the
It's
fine
more
dining
than that.
places.
It's more than that.
Look at all the
It's
3 or 4 star
65%.
restaurants in the city. All the fine dining places are pretty much shut down. I mean, how
Yeah.
are they? This is where they have to train their staff. And you guys know, you're in the restaurant business. You
Yeah.
train your staff for 6 months before you finally get a good system going.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
everybody has been totally dismissed. How are they? It's sad. It really is.
Yeah.
Well, some people will survive. It's the strong.
Yeah,
But-
it's survival of the fittest.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Well, you got
I-
a bunch of survivors here
Yeah.
today.
I have her selling pencils outside the club.
That's what it takes.
Look, everybody knows I will do what it takes.
That's right.
I'm not a quitter.
No, hey, listen, you have
That I
to
have
do
to say.
you have to do what you have to do,
That's
and
right.
it doesn't hurt to put God in your life a little bit too.
Oh,
People
God is
forget about
mainly in
that.
my life.
Yeah.
I love God.
See, guys, I can't talk about how really happy she is.
Well, let me tell you, Valentina is very
What?
supported.
Oh, I gotta tell you.
Yeah, Danny's my man over in the restaurant. I just love
know.
how I get treated there. So it's like a movie
Ah.
in itself.
People like you guys that we all have to help each other out. We all have
That's
to go
right,
out to
it's
dinner.
true,
We got
it's
to go to
true.
movies. We got to go everywhere just to help each other out. 'Cause
And you let me hand out my books. I have
It's
my own
not, no,
book.
listen to me.
she
It's
sells
not
her
like
books.
as if- yeah,
I'm
it's
only
not
getting
like you really have a-
15% profit, so.
Listen to me. It's not like you even really, not like you have a choice by letting her hand out the
No,
books.
it's true.
Because you really don't. Because I got to tell you, between the books and the flyers, and you try to serve the food, and she's jamming books. I say it all the time. She's jamming a book. Now somebody trying to eat with the family, nice and quiet. Valentina comes right over and just jams the book
But
and
they
flyer.
love me.
And
Hey, listen. They
I
love her.
always say, listen, I say, if we're going out to eat, I said, leave your bag, leave
In
your
the car.
in the car. Don't, and she comes in with like a suitcase.
He
You know,
knows.
It's like a
It
suitcase.
is
You see
true.
that?
It's so true.
You're like,
Squeaky
what are you doing?
I've been there. I know what she carries in her car.
I don't-
Oh my God. I saw that car the first time I met her. She pulled up
Thank you.
like one of those hoarders.
Listen,
You can't see out the window in the back.
Thank you.
it's
No.
old-fashioned
Oh.
marketing, okay? It's cheap.
We
But you
love you,
find out
Like the
Valentina.
body under that paperwork.
I'm
Find out
sending you my book too, Joe.
you
Yeah.
wind up giving away more books than you do selling, actually.
And you know what? It's not about the money when
right.
you write a book. It's about changing your life.
Yeah,
That's
It's
it.
about growing your brand.
personal
Yeah.
satisfaction that you
That's right,
finally got
George.
it
You
done.
know.
Sure.
Well, this is really a
It's a
great
huge
show. today.
accomplishment
Thank
to
you
write a
all.
book. It really is.
That's
Yeah.
a big accomplishment, is right. Really is.
But it becomes addictive once you get started.
Well, you're addictive.
Yeah.
Get you.
Now, you know what?
and
I
then
got to tell you, Joe, I've been sitting there left and right, and I was telling, quite a few people that I have a little tape recorder in the car. So sometimes, because I really, really do want to write the book, but then I turn around and I say, who really wants to know about my life? You know,
I want all the secrets.
and the stuff that I want to write about, I can't write about it. You know what I mean? So, and my friends are like, no, write about it. I said,
Well,
no.
I'll tell you,
What is it? You froze.
it's a very good time to start writing a book, though, because what Amazon has done clearly has opened up a huge door to authors where you can literally print on demand, number one, so you don't need an inventory. You can,
Right, that's true.
you can advertise on their site. And Amazon now has an advertising section. If you're I forget what it's called. If you're a
Yes, you're right.
some membership like $34.99, you can advertise on their site, and people are cleaning up house. You know,
Yes.
people like yourself that got great stories, and they want the world to let them know. Years ago, you had to go through a book publisher. I wrote 2 books. I know you'd have to get the publishing house to agree to it, and then they would take off all the money that they printed the books, and then you would end up with a royalty of like 15 cents a month. Now you can print on demand and get like $6-7 each order. It's crazy. It's a huge opportunity. So I would not let anything set you back. I would definitely write that book, put it out
Yeah,
there.
well, we do that
All
now
right.
at the Breakfast Club too. So we publish books through Red Penguin. And
Yep,
we have
nice.
blast. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
blast.
Yeah, I want to eventually do it. I really do. I have to. It is kind of hard. You know what it is? It's kind of hard for me because forget about having ADZZZ, I call it. When I'm sitting in the car, I just can't focus on what I want to talk about because my phone's ringing, you know, and I got 50 billion things in my mind. The only way I could probably do something is if I went to an island by myself and had nothing to do. To try to even, you know, to focus on. And that's another thing. I don't want to start off, you know, I was born in Harlem, you know, and then from Harlem, I moved to Bushwick, and then Bushwick, I moved to Queens.
You know, I really was born in Harlem, Greg. I was born on 119th Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue.
Really? I was on 125th and Lenox. That's where I lived.
Oh.
Nice.
Small world.
So when is the movie going to be, you know, coming to a close?
So we're going to be finished filming probably the end of March, and then we'll give it to the distributor. Well, first it's got to go out to you know, there's different stages with the movie, so it goes out to be we call it master sound check. So they have to make sure everything is clear, the sound matches the levels that all these different VOD platforms want to have. Those aren't right, they get kicked back with a QC level. And then, you know, you have to give it to the Foley. Now the Foley individual is the guy who puts, or the gal who puts the sounds of the birds, the car door closing, the gun clicking, you breathing heavy, you running, the footsteps, stuff like that. So after the Foley's done, then you give the movie to the colorist or the telecine artist. And then from there, they match up with the color that you want for that film to look. I think we're going with the Godfather look, the kind of orange dark look. And then in that instance, then it goes into the distribution process, and then 60 days it usually goes live, and then we have to do a whole bunch of marketing and stuff like that. I will tell you, the film business is a very, very difficult business to stay on top and make money with because the industry is so saturated. But if you build a brand, like anything you're doing in your life, if you build a brand, the brand makes money eventually. And, you know, that's been the focus with making films. This is my 8th feature film, and I've done probably about 80 short, films, 3 documentaries. You know, so it's a good road. You know, there's nothing like the film industry. The film industry, there's so much satisfaction after you make a film. It's tough to explain because I've been in the TV business for a long time. And you make a half-hour episode, you give it to the network, you make your money off the sponsorship, and you know, everybody's happy. But that's it. There's like the film industry, you could make that film 10 years, 20 years later, you see it again. And it's got such a nostalgia, especially the people that have been in it. It's basically you're what do they say? The mortalizing yourself through film. And that's exactly what it is. There's been so many good actors in 2012 that are dead, that are in this film, Purification, for instance. That film will be around for as long as I promote it, you know? So it's a good opportunity to capture a piece of the world, a piece of this earth, incredible acting. And I think that that's what this life is about. I mean, if you look at what Walt Disney did, not corporate Walt Disney, but Walt Disney himself, he was able to build a brand so that, you know, he's dead, what, 50 years, and people are still talking about this
That's
guy.
right. That's right.
And if you look
That's
at
right.
Jesus Christ, he's been dead, what, 2,000 years, and they're still talking about him. So
Right.
I guess it's all about making your mark in the industry, and it's something that has been my philosophy. You know, keep trying or die trying. You know, one or the other.
Yep.
Just keep it going, building that brand, making.
I'll agree 100%. Yep, with you, Joe. That with all the things I've done in my life, nothing has been more satisfying and fulfills me like playing a role.
Yeah.
I mean, when
And Tom Bencivenga doesn't even realize how much of a good actor he is. Like Tom is an incredible actor, and when I say that is because there are certain roles that you can, as a director, you can give to an actor. You could say, okay, well, this actor is only going to be good for this role. But Tom is very, very versatile. And what's good about him too is he works off of improv. Now that's like there's like stages of becoming a good actor, right? There's one who's trained, and then there's one that could be versatile, and then there's one that could do improv because a lot of actors can't do it. So if you get somebody with all those three elements, you can basically fit them into any role.
The only thing I got to tell you about the film industry that I got really, really upset with, I was in The Last Action Hero, and I tell the story. And there was a scene where the bad guy, he came out from the movie theater, grabs me. I'm driving a cab, grabs me. We struggle. I fall on the floor. He gets to the thing and takes off. So now I got about 50 people when the movie came out. The part comes up, they cut it. When I tell you, I was so upset.
Yeah.
I was so upset.
I've been there, Greg.
I did that like we did the scenes like 3-4 times. And
Yeah.
then they had an old guy do it, and they just grabbed the guy and just kind of like just pushed him away.
Yeah.
And that's the scene they put.
I think Greg and Val, I think I told you guys the funny story when I was first trying to weasel my way into doing some movies. And I was leaving the music industry. I got this spot on a reality show. It was a lot of years ago. And it was called Big Brian, the Fortune Seller reality show. What the guy was trying to do was he would go in and get like people that got divorced in a big mansion, loads of money. And it was an ugly divorce, and they were trying to settle up all the goods that he was selling. So he puts me in this part of being an angry husband. I pull up with my car, filming it and everything. And the wife comes out and she's cursing me, yelling at me. And I filmed the whole thing. And I'm telling everybody, you got to watch it. It's real. And it was a pretty good clip. Well, when he put it out, it was on TV. It was Discovery Channel, I think it was. So when it comes out, he felt a real angry husband wouldn't want their face on TV. So he put a white ball on my face, and I was bouncing across the stage, and my face was whited out. I told the whole world to watch.
I knew I was there.
And let me
That
tell
was you, huh?
There I was with melon head bouncing.
I think I saw that show.
That's
I still
hysterical.
have it because it was one of the very first things I did.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I definitely, I did modeling when I looked good, and I would love it. I always say to be in the movie, but this time I don't care if you even have me walking by, for crying out loud. Just don't cut the part out. That's all I say.
Yeah,
I'll be
I
sitting
never
at Danny's
do anything
eating
I
like
don't
this.
need.
I'll be happy. Got
Yeah.
this spaghetti sauce all over me. I mean,
Well, Joe mentioned The Irishman. So The Irishman, Joe was in it. I was in it. I spent a whole week in Harlem filming with them all. Because I was right on set. Scorsese, Al Pacino, De Niro, Joe Pesci, all of them. The one scene, I'm in two scenes. The one scene, Joe Pesci and De Niro are having a very, very serious conversation, face to face. And I'm standing right next to them, leaning against the stage, talking to a woman. Just the four of us on screen. What a shot. Two big cameras on me and everything. What do you think happens when the movie comes out? As they pan back, you see me for literally a split second. Instead of that entire dialogue,
right.
I couldn't move. They lifted me. They rolled me to make sure. That's how close up I was. And there you go. Same thing happened.
And Joe, listen, are you the one that cuts it out?
Well, yeah, so anything that I film in my movie,
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm
When
gonna.
your food eats, then I know who to go to. Everybody's telling me go to
Yeah,
Arnold
well, it's
Schwarzenegger.
always the director. It's always the director that cuts it out. I never film anything that I'm not going to use, partly because of budget constraints. You know, I don't have a budget like Marty. I think he was up to like 160 million or something like that. But Marty is classic for filming a ton of stuff
Yeah.
and leaving it out. I mean, one scene in particular too, I played a butcher in The Irishman, and we spent a whole like 8 hours in a meat locker. It was so cold,
Oh,
and we couldn't wear, you know, the wardrobe there was very strict on clothing, so they didn't allow you to wear anything underneath it because it made you look puffy. So we had to, and I'm freezing. My hands are frozen. And Marty comes on set and he's like, I know it's cold, guys, but you know, we just got to get this shot right, you know? And he turns around, he walks away and he goes to his seat tent.
oh, oh.
Man, this is going to be a great scene though. It's going to be worth it. I tell you, the movie came out, that whole scene was cut.
But
Well, I figured, listen, Joe, I figured that I know you must do your wardrobe probably where you are there because I see you have a steamer back there. So you must steam your clothes before you.
Actually, this is we're filming in this is a restaurant set. We're doing a shootout scene. This is the sink.
Oh, okay, just think I couldn't see. It looked like the steamer
It
pot.
looks like
I
it's
have
going
one.
around. This is actually going to be someone's living room here. So it's where one of the Dons are. We're just setting up the sound blankets and stuff like that. But
That's great.
That's unbelievable. What a job you have. So exciting.
it's fun just like everyone else's job, but it also has its ups and downs.
Oh,
You know,
stress, sure.
there's a lot of pressures with this industry, a lot of cutthroat. You know, you could be really good with distributors, and then they get jealous, and there's a lot of jealousy in this business. If they
Yeah.
feel
Really?
that you're coming up in the ranks, and you even show the little sign of being pompous or conceited, you're done. It's
So
Really?
now when you're stressed out, do you do Zumba? Do you do yoga?
well, you know, I juice every day. I'm big with that. because
Now,
I-
when people say, I got to cut you off, when you say that, people are thinking you're doing steroids when you juice every day. You're talking
No,
about
no,
juice.
I'm fresh juice.
Okay.
Fresh juice. Yeah. Fresh carrot, celery, apple.
There we go.
Yeah. That's stuff will
Good.
keep you young. I'm telling you, it's good
Yeah,
stuff.
well, it's good. Health, you have to keep your health up, but you should try your yoga. We had a yoga gal on the other day. She got everybody relaxed in like 6 minutes.
Yeah,
And-
the whole show is asleep.
yeah.
Well, that's the
This
thing.
is not a good thing here. You sit there, relax, close your eyes. Everybody thought that the screen froze for like 3 minutes.
But you know, we got a lot of comments. You know, maybe I will try it. You know.
Well, you
See,
know,
I
I
don't
think that
relax.
I think eating healthy and following a regimen to stay healthy is good, but I think if you want to accomplish goals and you set big goals for yourself, just mentally, you cannot train your brain to slow down at all, even if
You're
it's
right. Yeah.
You know, and
you're
that's
right. But
that's
you're-
just my professional opinion. That you know, I don't want an hour a day to do yoga because I want my brain to keep going until
Right.
1 o'clock, and then wake up at 6 and do the same thing.
right.
But you're
You know,
used to it. You know, you're used to it.
Yeah,
You're
you know.
either ever ready bunny or you're
Yeah,
not.
You
You
know,
know,
it's
like-
true.
We
Yeah,
have a
I think
lot of
it-
ever ready bunnies here.
I mean, look, everybody here is everybody sitting on this panel is an entrepreneur, you know, in their own way. You guys got this terrific show and restaurateur, author, and actor. I mean, you know, there's nobody giving it to you at the end of the day. You know, if you don't go out and bite its head off, and you know, no matter what the press says about you, you just keep rolling out with it again and again and again, and you grow that brand. So in that instance, when you sleep is when you lose. You know, when you slow down, when you tell your body and your mind to say, you know what, I'm not doing it anymore, you're done. You know,
Well,
and
you're kind of right about that. You really have to always be on.
you have to set unrealistic, achievable goals. You know, you have to set goals to where you know in your mind that there's no way that you're going to achieve it, but you keep telling yourself that you're going to. You know,
That's
and
good
in that way,
advice.
if you fall a little short, you're still ahead of the finish line. You know,
That's good advice. I like that. It's very good.
Hey,
advice.
Danny, I was thinking about we're gonna have a premiere of the scene of what he's doing right now at your place.
how
Right.
many seats you have?
124. 128. I'm
Is
sorry.
that a catering hall or that's just
No,
restaurant?
it's a restaurant. It's divided into 3 different rooms.
Yeah, well, we could never get him to shut down. I mean, that would kill his Friday and Saturday with his local
How
paper.
about Monday
It's got to be a weekend. But we
weekend?
should talk. Yeah, it's got to be a
We
weekend.
talk.
He's not talking about filming. He's talking about the red carpet.
Yeah, the red carpet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we need one. We need one big room, like,
So the main room, I would say it would sit about 60, 70 seats.
Yeah, we clock in over 150 each time.
The last red carpet Joe did was at the Garden City Hotel. What an affair!
That
Oh, it's a
okay.
beautiful place.
It was phenomenal. DJ, we had all food, open bar. It was.
You know what we'll do? We'll set up a bunch of tents outside with some heaters.
Well, that's what we're
That's
gonna
no
have.
problem.
The important people go inside, the rest go outside.
we're in the VIP
We're the
section.
VIP.
Crazy. A heated tent.
I'm excited. You need any help? Let me know.
Yeah, of course.
We do all kinds of things here.
Joe, but definitely,
will.
I'd love for you to stop by for something you could use in the future. Would be appreciated.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna need another day. And I'm thinking that the restaurant, it's gotta be an Italian restaurant because of just it's an Italian theme.
Correct.
So I think we could definitely do something. There's a reason why I haven't gotten back on a date. I know a couple of people, Michelle in my office has been asking me about your
Right.
location. I did look into it. It looks beautiful. I just don't know what we're gonna need until after this weekend. And then after I film that, I'll be able
So
to.
you're really close to the end now, aren't you?
Yeah, we're close to the end. Yeah, the summertime was rough. It was so rough, and it was great because nobody was working and everybody was home. But so many people were sick that it's because you have a scene with 7 people, 2 of them get sick, you can't do the scene. So then you got to wait 2 weeks,
Right.
and then when you wait the 2 weeks, somebody else got sick,
Right.
and then the locations, they were scared. I don't want anybody in here. First they say yes, and then they'd say no.
Well, there was liability they were afraid of. Like, yeah, Joe used several scenes like in big office buildings. Those guys, there's always that concern. Well, if you bring a virus in, my staff gets sick, so that, he was pulling his hair out for a while.
Yeah, what I had left in my head. Yeah, it was. But yeah,
Now, Joe, let me ask you: when you're done filming, how long does it take to do all your cutting, editing, all that stuff before it gets packaged and out to the distributors?
So I'm a little bit different from most filmmakers because I don't work with a script. I edit as I go along, and then I just piece it in as a puzzle. So the movie is 90% edited. I'd probably say it's 95% edited. So it's pretty much finished. Most filmmakers have a script. They film different scenes and they put it in files, and then they grab everything in the editing room when it's finished. I don't do that. I start to film the scene first, and then I go backwards. The way I make films, and unless I've been working with my crew for a very long time, but any new person that comes on set is always a little dumbfounded and just shocked because of the format of it. When you're filming something, you have to either have a separate format, or you have to have a script or a storyboard or something like that. But if you're not organized like that, like most people are organized where they have those things coming. For some reason, I just like to do it my way. It's been working, but
Joe, do you edit in the camera while you're shooting?
yeah. So in other words, if I film a scene today, that scene is going to be edited within the next 3 or 4 days. And I don't go on to the next scene unless I have that set and I know exactly how it could work into the whole story picture. So every scene that you see in one of my movies has been shot separately. And a lot of times, I know this is going to sound crazy, and I hate saying this in public all the time, but when I get on set, I honestly sometimes don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Like I don't know what scene I'm going to do. And a lot of times I rely on the actors. I'll say, okay, here's the storyline. There's going to be a hit scene here. You're going to come in, you're going to be surprised. You're going to see, your wife on the floor, she's dead. And we just run with it. We go with it a lot of times, and Tom knows very well. It works out. And the beauty of it is as a director, is I could never script your personality. Everybody's got a very, very unique personality. So if you play a role with a personality and you say that role and you don't overact, right? You say it in your own personality. I can't script that in a million years. So I let the actors totally run with run with it. I give them a scene, some 1 or 2 lines, and I say, look, change it around to how you think fits. And it's really funny when you have 4 or 5 people that have worked with me before, and you have that one person that never has. And we all start to laugh at this person because they just get so nervous looking around like, what the hell's going on? I don't know what to say.
I love when they come and whisper to me, do you know what the scene is? And I go, no. What do you mean, no? You're in the movie. I go, I know. Well, you're back to doing it. Yeah. Well, do you know what Joe's doing? No. I don't have a clue. But I said, just stand by. I'm telling you, you go, you know.
I think no script is better.
You know, I always say honestly, you know, I say honestly, listen, it was funny when Tom came on, and even George, when they came on to the show, I never know who's coming on.
Right.
So I walk through this door.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know who's what, where, or when, but you know what? It seems to work. You know,
Yep.
It seems to work.
Spur of the moment.
You know,
it's better. You know.
sometimes being, I mean, or even like you said, improving seems to work. There are a lot of actors that they pretty much have an idea of what's going on, and they don't use the script most of the time. I mean, they will use, but most of the time everything is improv, and I didn't realize that. You know,
some actors can pull it off.
Verbatim.
Some actors can make it work.
And some actors can't.
Yeah.
You know, I've had a lot of actors. I'm trying to think of one that's passed away recently that I might have talked to because I don't want to get sued. All right, Leonard Nimoy is one of them. I met Leonard Nimoy at a Chiller convention. This is many years ago, and at the time I was filming Acedia, which is my second horror film, which you can find on YouTube at everything you can find Joe Simonera Presents on YouTube. And so I had a great conversation with him, and he's like, man, you know, I love independent horror films. I'm going to do it. Here's my number. Here's my cell phone number. And at the end of the call, and at the end of the conversation, he says, and my Beverly Hills agent was going to give you a call. So I said, all right. So I get the call from this guy, and it was such a different story. The second I said I didn't have a script, it was over.
Really?
Said, well, what do you mean you don't have a script? I said, it's improv. I said, you know, I'll give you a couple of lines, but they'll change. I said, we have to see it. You know, how do we know that, you know, you're not going to give him something that is going to hurt his brand or something like that? I said, he doesn't say it then. Right? Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to choke him and say this. If he's uncomfortable saying something, don't say it. So and there's been countless actors that's why I don't reach out to well-known actors anymore. If they reach out to me, it's because they know my work and they know kind of my style. But I don't even waste my time with agents anymore. Tom will tell you, if I even hear you have an agent and I have to go through them, we don't even do it.
Greg, you know, there's a lot of, it comes to a lot of trust factors. When, you know, I'm sure Joe has his people he trusts, but we got to trust him, and I do. So that's where that comfort level comes in. Like, I trust, even though he may not know on the spot what he's going to do, he's going to wing it, but I entrust him he ends up directing me the right way, whether he knows it or not. He is. He'll tell me what, you know, Tom, here's what you're thinking. Here's what you're feeling. Here's what you're going to say. Now, you know how to say it. You got to do it. But he's telling me, he's setting the whole thing up.
Yeah, it's work.
So, you know, we're not just flying willy-nilly, you know.
Yeah.
Even though it is improv, but he is directing it, you know, he is.
It's not like you just turn around and said, you know, the 250 people were doing a mafia movie and let's go. Everybody just do your thing.
Actually, it's what we did with Acedia. Real quick with that movie, to this day, I think it's the most brilliant master film that we've ever created because we filmed everything in 2.5 days, a full feature film. Not one script, not one storyboard. 200 actors showed up at this monastery on Long Island, and we filmed Acedia. Didn't know what I was just picking people. I said, okay, this is what we're going to do because the place was just so ancient. It was like 150 years old, and it was most people don't even know it. It was called St. Joseph's Monastery on Long Island, and it's it's 100 acres of nothing but incredible architect and stones and.
Yeah, in fact, Joe, if you remember, I said, why don't you try and get that back and we could shoot a scene like Italy.
Yeah, well, I did. And unfortunately, now they got somebody running the locations, and she tried to, get me to pay an exorbitant amount of money. you know, I got that place through a contact I had at the Vatican, and the Vatican sent word over to this other priest that was there, and I had a great relationship with him for years. Unfortunately, he passed away, and then, you know, people don't, you know, they forget what you do for them, and they tried to charge me an arm and a leg to use a location, which is typical, you know. I'm not going to pay, you know.
Buy that scenery today. That's incredible. The grounds and the building and everything. It just.
You know, I don't understand people sometimes, because people say, okay, this is our day rate. And I say, okay, well, we can pay this. And they say, well, that's not our day rate. I said, well, what's your day rate when you don't have anything? You rather take zero?
The day rate, you got to bring food from Danny's place over. That's the day rate.
Yeah.
Just do the catering from me.
I said, bring a food truck. That's your day rate.
Well,
I'm
Joe,
really looking
I
forward
think
to the
you
restaurant.
teach.
I heard some great things about it. I can't wait
Yeah.
to try it.
We're different. It's a great food.
Well, I think you could teach a lot of people a lot of things just by what I heard today. Like you teach people right on set, especially since you're winging it. You know, that's the greatest.
Yeah, look, I always say, you know, I'm never concerned with what the next person is doing. I just have a vision on my own, and I thank God, because obviously he's had his hand in my success, and I'd be stupid enough not to acknowledge him. But I think I stay a very clear path, and I stay focused. And I think that if you want your goals in life, you stay focused. The minute that you're not focused and you think that you have to work, you know, you can do this in a 4-hour work week. I've never seen it done, but I would love to see somebody show it to me. But
Nah, I don't think you'll find it.
yeah, you have to keep at it. You know,
Right.
I've never once been paid by a TV network in my whole life, my whole TV career. I've always raised money through sponsorship. Now, anybody, you guys know this, but you know how difficult that is. I've kept a national
Oh,
show,
yeah. Trust me, we know.
800 and something episodes. I filmed about 804 Taste This TV episodes, and every single show was funded by sponsors. And I've had many networks that told me to go to hell. I met with the Food Network, and we had it out on the table. We had a contract, and you know, I walked away saying, "Up your ass," excuse my French.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't need them. I had funding already for my show. So at the
Thank
end of the
God.
day,
God
I'm not
bless.
kissing anybody's ass. And that's been my attitude from the very beginning. I give
I'm
everybody,
with you on that.
but you know, there's so many people that try to take advantage. And it's
Okay.
important for people to make sure that they have a strong brand so that they don't have to rely on people that whether or not they can turn them on or turn them off like a light switch. So many talented people are never allowed to showcase their talent because some executive in some asshole network, you know, doesn't give them a chance. And they want to try to control everything. So you really have to, and today, 2021, it's a great time to be an influencer. You don't need
Yes.
anybody. You need a
This is
YouTube
true.
channel and some drive. You don't need any of these networks. You don't.
It's true. It's true. One of my passions is every day, get up, get dressed, show up.
That's right.
That's in my book. Yeah.
That's right. That's the first thing you got to do. The early bird
Yep.
gets the worm.
That's
Yes,
it.
that's
I
true.
never, you know, my father used to say that, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? If I dig up the lawn in the backyard, I'll find my damn worms. The bird's gonna miss a couple of worms. You know? But you know, he was a wise man, I got to tell you. But I didn't understand the concept of what he was trying to say. You know what I mean? But listen, I definitely want to thank you guys so much for being on the show. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank
We're looking forward. Danny, you know we're coming over. I'll probably see
Wednesday.
you Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just
You
let
know?
us know let me know what time.
I'll give you a buzz. You know, I have
George,
the direct line to Danny.
yeah.
Joe, please
She
stop by
got you
for
on
dinner.
speed dial. She has you on
I
speed
definitely
dial.
George,
You know, George, I want to say thank you. You know, we're definitely going to see you soon. Tom, you know, we love you. Joe, you got to come on one day. I know you don't have the time, but one day you take a break. You know, let's all get together. All of us get together.
Love you,
And
Jack.
we'll
You guys
go-
got a great show. It was a pleasure meeting everybody here. I'm going to get the book, Eat the Restaurant. Tom, I'll see you on set. And thanks again for having me. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you, guys. Thank you
Yeah,
all.
thank you. Oh, you know what? I didn't even get to say what today was Women's
International
Women's
Day.
Month.
National Month, yeah.
Oh, it is
It's
National Month.
Women's International Day.
International Day.
Thank you. All right.
No, say it.
No.
He gets mad
No, she
because I
just-
have a big mouth.
no, and she just, you know, when you need her to use it, she doesn't use it. That's the problem. Anyway.
Hey, let's not go there.
Well, that's your other guy there. That's why she's happy. All right, I'm telling you. Okay, this guy, I'll kill him. if he's not around the picture anymore, if he's not on the picture anymore. And this is offset. Anyway, Dan, I want to thank you so much. And Dan sponsors, and I got to tell you, thank you so much for all the sponsoring that you do. And I appreciate it. And he's located right there, Jericho Turnpike. The address, what's the specific address in Mineola? The number?
348
That's what it
East
is.
Jericho Turnpike, Mineola.
Yeah, okay. We
Okay,
always forget that.
yeah, because I always, yeah. So I want to thank you so much. Tranquility Spa, which is all your needs for massages, foot massages, neck massages after you're done. And Oro Puro Jewelry, Teddy, thank you for all your jewelry needs. Jackson Hewitt Prince, he's a great guy. He's on 978 Hempstead Turnpike. And then we have your salon.
Beauty Divinary Salon.
Look
in
how
Floral
beautiful
Park.
she looks. Look at
New
that.
do this week.
Look at that.
Great lady owner. If you need a new do, and all of you were invited to the spa for a free session. Call me. I have a ticket for you all to go. Get your legs massaged, and it's wonderful.
And I know I didn't get a chance to do some shout outs. Only a few people I'm going to give shout outs to right now because I know I have so many. So please forgive me. Rosemary, Kathy, Jenny A, Jenny C, Saba, Susan, Teresa. We have two Teresa's, residential artists. Stacy, how are you? Love Phil. Oh my God, I love you. Now his brother Greg, which I love this guy, he's in Vegas. And the reason why the guy doesn't ever come on the show because he doesn't watch the show because he's another one on Facebook jail. My God, Elisa, how are you, honey? And we have Denise. I know you're home watching Karen and Kevin and Carrie Ann. And listen, there's a lot of other ones, but thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you on Monday. Thanks. And it's a
wrap.
Be healthy, everybody.
Thank
Stay
you.
healthy.
Nice meeting everybody.
Nice
Thank you. Good
Hey, guys. Nice to meet you
Grazie.
guys.
meeting you. Be well.